Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Lit in English, or Understanding Your Inner Self Materialize Happiness. And thank you so much for joining us on this amazing journey. Our mission is to spread this amazing knowledge to every corner of the world. And we couldn't do that without your help and support because when we doing this together, we all will have a greater, deeper understanding of these principle, this reference system, and in turn, it will help us having a better understanding, better application for these information. And just a quick recap before we continue today. So yesterday we went over the second out of the three semantic reference system, and that is the triangle of reality. And the triangle of reality let us know that anything that exists out there, whether it is physical or whether it is not physical, and the word that we like to use is material or immaterial, they all contain information within them. They all contain the energy within them, and they have the material. And an example that we use is a gold coin here. It has the information of gold. It definitely have to have the energy of gold and is have the material of gold, but not just any type of gold. This is a gold coin, and it has the picture of the White House in there, the United States of America. So there are other information that differentiate this particular coin compared to every other coin. And we also realize that we need to know information about this coin, or we have to have certain belief in the energy that help form this coin. And also we have to have an understanding of the material of this coin, and the information that is shared in this triangle of reality is extremely, extremely important because it will help us have a greater understanding of material itself. And understanding that, it will help us understanding the reality, or it will help us move to the reality that we want by understanding the triangle of reality, which is one of the three semantic reference system. And this is the season three of Lit in English. And this marks something extremely, extremely important because this season we will complete the three semantic reference system. And this is huge. I know that not all of us follow through since the beginning, but we do have the four principle, which is super, super amazing, which is the principle of light. That is one of those. And then we also have the activation of the human brain. And number three, the circle of knowledge. And last but not least, the principle of transformation. And these four principles, along with the seven holistic wealth, is the foundation that help us be more proactive, help us break through the sixth barrier. And the principle of light is one of the founding principles that help us turn our dark room into a light room, help us simplify all problems in life into four categories, that is inner self, health, relationship, and finance. And by simplify all of those problems, it is easier for us to realize which area we need to work on. And by being prepared for any of these problems to occur, it is easier for us to be more proactive with it. And if you can just understand one of these four principles, All right. You don't have to understand all four. If you can just apply one out of these four principles, you are already better off than most people out there. It is like one tool that fit all. For example, for the principle of transformation, you will be able to get the transformation that you want, whether it is in the cell, whether it is health, relationship, or finance. Or if you truly understand the principle number three, which is the circle of knowledge, you will be able to expand your knowledge. You will be able to reach places that people don't even know exist. And for the activation of the human brain, you will be able to activate the part of the human brain that in turn can help you tap into the information that you might not even know, which also expand your knowledge. And all four of these principles work very, very well together. You can start with any of these three, and the beauty of it is that it will improve your life by a lot. As amazing as the four principles are, the three semantic reference system is a whole nother animal of its own. Because if you can just understand any one of these three, if you could just apply any one of these three, you can use it as the reference system to navigate through the known or the unknown word. Let's look at the root formula for example. The root formula help us get to the very bottom of it, get to the very root of it. Better yet, the root formula help us get to the seed of it all, where the informations are, and it will help us get to the outcome that we want to a few very simple steps. And again, if you have not uh, listened to the presentation on the root formula, I will highly recommend it. And today we are going a much deeper dive into the triangle of reality. And through the triangle of reality, we will be able to generate principle that can help us, which are very similar to the four principles that I just mentioned. Again, just a quick recap on what we have been doing. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's do some demonstration so that we will know what exactly the triangle of realities are capable of. All right, excellent. So I would like to invite you to grab a new piece of paper. This is a good time to get a piece of paper, get your pen and paper so that you can draw along the way, because the best way to learn is by doing. All right. So let's get to it. Okay. So let's look at a triangle of reality that most people want to understand. Most people want to get to. And let's call this success. Let me see, how do I spell the word success? I think it's 2C, success. Okay. All right. So I know that in our community, we view the word success very different compared to others. But the success that I want to mention today is the success that most people out there are going after, and that is the success of finance. Because most people, prior to understanding this knowledge, most people are just chasing money because they believe that with the right amount of money, they will be able to provide for themselves, they will be able to provide for their family, and with the right amount of money, they will be able to take care of their health, which is extremely, extremely reasonable, right? So we are going to use the triangle of reality to figure out if we can find success. And the triangle of reality would require information, energy, and material. So let me go ahead and just write the letter I here. Actually, you know what? Let's just write it all out. Information, information. As in, what kind of information do we know about the success? What kind of energy do we need to be successful? And what is what does success look like? Where's the material of success? All right. So usually if we were to ask this question, different people will have different definition of it. And most of the time they don't know how to get there. Or they think that they know how to get there and they would try. And it take them a very, very long time. And toward the end, they might not even get it. But today we are going to use the triangle of reality to develop, to have a great understanding of what does it mean to become successful. And we are doing that because I want to demonstrate to you that the three semantic reference system is very, very powerful, because through this semantic reference system, we can analyze anything, any topic. We get to the bottom of it and we know how to materialize the goal, the result that we want. And we did the same thing for the root formula too. Just this one page, we was able to analyze the success of Bill Gates. We was able to analyze the success of Jeff Bezos of Amazon, and we was able to analyze the success of Elon Musk, who is like the richest person in the world, own multiple billion dollar worth company. So today we do a little bit mild. We're gonna just focus on the triangle of reality. We're gonna figure out what success is. And for success, there, just like what we have learned from the triangle of reality, there are three parts to success that we need to understand in order to know what success is. And those four corner would be the notion of success. Notion. Where is the notion of success? And what kind of relation do we need to gain that success? And then what kind of profession do we need to become successful? Because your success will be different if you decided to be a doctor. Your success will be different if you decide to be a teacher or a singer or a pharmacist and so on. Therefore, profession is something that would determine your success. But lucky for me, like early on, I have learned from a very successful business woman in my hometown. Um, she is the mother of one of my very good friends, and I was only 15 years old back then. But she told me one thing very important. See, say that you know what, Ben, in life, you got to understand that if other people can do it, you can do it too. It doesn't matter what it is. And there's some wisdom in there because if you look back, if you remember the story of Mr. Roger Bannister, the man that run 1 mile under 4 minutes, nobody was able to do it prior to him. But because he was able to prove it to the world that it was possible, other people started to know how to do it because they understood the information of success. They know what the notion of success is. They know that if Mr. Roger Bannister was able to do it, they can do it too. Or let's say Bill Gates, for example. Prior to Bill Gates, people didn't think it was possible to make $1 billion to become a billionaire in their 20s. But since Bill Gates proved it to be possible, we see a tons of young billionaire in the 2000s. And the difference between those people and us, okay, is that they truly believe of the notion of success. They truly believe that if other people can do it, they can do it too. So with just one corner of the triangle, many people are able to achieve success in their life. What about relation? Why is it that relation can get you to success? I have a best friend in Vietnam. He is really good. In fact, like he worked for a company that produce paper, and he is very good at what he does. And he was able to get to his success in that career in that way. But he's complained to me that there's a guy in his company who was younger than him. He didn't have as much as experience as he does. But for some reason, that guy is very close to the boss. He is the one, that guy is the one that drives the boss around in his car. And every time that the boss need to go to a meeting where they talk about business deal, where business deals are closed, the other friend was there. And the only reason that he was there because he was able to drive the boss and he was able to drink a lot, like drink beers a lot without getting drunk. And he was able to handle the conversation people like having him around. So even though he was not very good at his profession, but he's had very good relation. And because of that, that guy had gained success way faster than my friend did because he had better relation. And there's a famous quote saying that it is not about what you know, it is all about who you know. Therefore, relationship is extremely important to element to your success. And thanks to teacher, all of the guru, and especially the professor and the scientist, the mentor, they found out that these are the three corner of success. Yeah, just like Yang Hương said here, it is about who you know. But even that's only one corner. It's only the relational corner of it. If you want to get to a success, it is best if you understand all three of these corner. You will get to success faster. You can start at the information. You can start at the material. You can start at the energy. But eventually, you gotta have all three. So remember the business women that I have the privilege to talk to when I was 15. She started at the notion of success. She started with the belief that, you know what, if other people can do it, I can do it too. So she was able to open a small shop to sell a suitcase and she was doing very, very well. She had to travel from Da Nang, is the city that I was from. She had to take a day trip to Saigon to get the to buy the goods, bring it back and sell it. And she kept doing it consistently because her friend was able to do it, and she believed that if her friend can do it, she can do it too, and that's what she did, and that was how she make her money. But after a while, right after she was doing it for a while, she learned the profession of the job, and she was becoming more successful. And as she do more of the job, she build more relationship. She know where to buy the product with a cheaper price. Better yet, he know a wholesaler that would take care of all of the buying and selling. She doesn't have to go to Saigon anymore. They can ship the product straight to her shop. And because of that, she was able to build her relation and her business growth. And not only that, since she was making so much money, she need to invest her money somewhere. And because of the relationship that she had, she is now able to invest it in real estate. And her friend, the relationship that she had, helped her invest the money back into real estate, and she made even more money. So my point is, there are three routes to success, or there are three routes to anything. You can either go through the information, or you can go through the energy, or you can go to the material route. But eventually, you're going to have all three. And we learned that it is much faster to for information to grow, to transfer. It is much faster for energy to grow, to transfer. And it is much slower for the material to grow and to transfer. And that is why we learned that profession is only about 20% of what it takes to be successful. The notion of success is about 40% of what it takes to become successful. And relation is about 40% of what it takes to become successful. And yeah, I think you have a question. Should it be the triangle of growth instead? Success to have a different triangle. You can name it different name. The beautiful thing about the triangle of reality is that you can use it to analyze anything. It can be millions and millions of different triangle of reality, and there are things that share in common, just like the just like what we have for the principle of light. Remember the house. If we were to simplify our problem in life, we only have four categories. That is the inner self, that is health, that is relationship, and that is finance. So what Yang Hung said is exactly right. You can call this the triangle of growth, or you can also call this the triangle of success. So you can choose to write the word growth down here as well if you like. And I'm gonna do that. And thanks for sharing, because that's give me the opportunity to clarify. And this is extremely important because when um, when scientists look at this, they they did their research study, and because it's important to understand growth, it's important to understand success. It is like $1 billion question. So when the scientist or the guru or the mentor or the master look at the success, they realize something very interesting. they realize that as human, when we develop growth or when we analyze success, they find something very interesting. They find something in common. They realize that an average person usually it takes us about 30 years to understand the notion of success. You can just think about it. Most of us have to go to school in order to gain the information needed. So when we graduated high school, that would be like 12th grade, and we will be 18 then. And then add another 4 years of college and university. So that will be 22. And then if people want to go into a more advanced career, they need to get their master or their PhD or their doctor degree, then that would be another 6 year. So that would be 28. And then they will need to have like real experience in that field. And usually it take them another 2 years to gain the experience. Therefore, the notion of success, the information needed to become successful, or the information needed to complete that growth in today's standard, usually it takes us 30 years to understand that notion. And after we get to that information, after if we lucky enough, if we are like one of the better group, it takes us 30 years. And then we realize that it is not enough, because you know what? That is only 40% of what it takes to growth. That is only 40% of what it takes to become successful. Therefore, even with this information, some people wasn't able to gain the success that they want. And they realize that they're gonna need to build relationship too. And usually on average, it take another 10 years to build relationship. And even that, we still realize that it isn't enough, because different growth require different element, different success will require different element. There's a different meaning to become a successful doctor, even though it is the highest of all. But if you're really thinking about it, because my brother is a doctor too, my father is a doctor, so I'm kind of want to use this example. Even after school, after like 30 years, they still need to figure out what kind of field that they want to go into. If they want to become a surgeon, they have to do like further education, and then they have to have more time like doing the work. For a pilot, for example, they have to done that 10,000 hour of flight, which usually take them about 5 to 10 years to complete that. Therefore, a profession, even though it's only 20% of what it takes to grow to success, to become that full growth, it still need another 10 years to gain that profession. Profession. Therefore, in order to achieve success or growth, usually it takes us 50 years. And by the time we get there, we pretty much gonna be ready to pass away, right? To move on. Remember the song, is it like 60 years of life or something like that? In the past, usually people would be happy to live 60 years. And looking at this, most people it's take them 50 years to figure this out. The sad thing is I have talked to many people. I have looked at a lot of story, and there are many people they didn't understand what they truly want, and they spend their 50 year trying to be a successful doctor, trying to be a successful lawyer, just to realize that that is not what they want to do, even though they are successful in that field, even though they are a very famous doctor, even though they are a very famous lawyer, they realize that their true passion is flying in an airplane. So they use that money, that success, to invest to go back to the notion of success in something else. They build new relationship in some other field, and they gain the profession in other field. And this is true story, true life. I have heard of doctor who decided to become a pilot and he will fly all day. And I have know of a lawyer who find out that their passion is taking picture. So he became a photographer and he lived a very good life. But the question is, why do we have to waste it all that time, 50 years, over 50 years, just to realize that the thing that we have are not important to us? So isn't it better that we learn this early on? And lucky for us, this is the exact reason we are going on this journey. And we are super blessed. We are super lucky to have gained this knowledge. Because if you look at the beginning of our journey, okay, look at the principle of life. Prior to this knowledge, isn't it very common that we often have the 6 barriers because we're afraid of what is out there? Isn't it common that we are often in the dark room, we don't know where to go? Isn't it normal that we are often reactive to problem rather than being proactive about it? It's pretty common that we wait for we to get sick to take the medication. Isn't it common that we have to wait for us to have problem with health to go and back to take care of it? Isn't it common that we don't value relationship until we have problem with relationship? And is it common that when financial problem occurs that we have to deal with it? Just this one piece of paper, it helps us realize that, you know what? There are 4 problems in life. There are 4 categories. And if I can be productive, proactive with it, if I can prepare for it, then I don't have to worry about it. And that takes us back to the example of the chicken and the egg, because if forces coming from the outside in, that means life will treat it as food. If the forces coming from the inside out, that means we take the conscious action to have that transformation, to take back control of our life. Because we realize that, you know what, life will constantly influence you, because life is full of lessons. Life is trying to get you to change. And if you don't change, life will give you suffering. Life will give you pain. And if you don't change, then the worst kind of pain, the worst kind of suffering, the worst kind of losses will come to you. And we have seen this all around us. And thanks to this knowledge, thanks to the information, we now taking back control of our life. we are able to be proactive. We will be prepared for it. And just thinking about it, because of all of this amazing knowledge that we have acquired because of the four principle and the three reference system, instead of spending 50 years just to learn that the success that we have is not exactly what we desire, wouldn't it be more amazing if we can shorten this learning time to 50 months? How about 50 week? And what I am aiming for is 50 days. And this is really, really possible, guys, because for the season three of Lit in English, we have only done 10 days so far. And if you were to just pick out one of any of these days, if you can just pick out the principle of light, that's all that you need to solve all of the problem. Or if you can just randomly pick out, let's say, the activation of the human brain, this in itself can help you stand above all problem. And thanks to the teacher, our master and our community, we are able to learn a lot more than this within a very short time. And we doing this through information, through energy, because that can move much faster. And if we are looking at this, if we just look at this, success, it is it is let's use this color. It is 80%. 80% of it is about people development. And only 20% of it is about profession development. And this is the beauty of the triangle of reality, similar to the root formula. This gets us to the very, very basic of the information that we need, which is the outcome. And this is something very, very important here. Okay. 80% of our success, 80% of our growth is about people development. Only 20% of it is about profession development. Therefore, understanding this, isn't it better that we starting to work on our development? The smartest way to invest is invest on yourself. And if you can just invest on yourself, you have 80% chance of success, 80% chance of becoming successful in any field, out there. You don't have to choose to become a doctor. You don't have to choose to become a lawyer. You don't have to choose to become a photographer or a pilot. If you can just focus on the 80% of people development. And the people who went through the 50 years to gain this information, like the doctor and the lawyer that I mentioned earlier, they understood this through 50 years. And that is the reason it was easier for them to make the transition from a doctor to a pilot. It was easier for them to make the transition from a lawyer to a photographer. And if we know what they know, which we do, we have an even better system. We can focus on our people development, and we can make the conscious decision to take back control of our life, to make a conscious decision on what kind of profession that we want, what kind of growth that we want. And everyone is different. And I know that there are many people out there, including myself. We have to do the job that we might not like just because that job can provide for ourselves and our family. So we have to do it, but we're not enjoying it. Even doctor and lawyer, a lot of time they don't even enjoy it. And I know that for a fact. But knowing this, we can work on ourselves and we can literally choose the career that we want. And this bringing back all of the information that we have learned throughout this entire season. And I know I only have about like 19 minutes left because for this program, usually I want to keep it within 1 hour. Therefore, if you have any question or if you have any lesson that you would like to share, feel free to write it down, and you can raise your hand later, and we can share that. But let's go on back to it. This piece of paper here is extremely, extremely important. And I see Yang who's raising her hand here. If you could just let me know if you want to share now on the chat or if you want to share later so that I can open the mic for you. If not, I will just continue. If you want to share it now, I can help you unmute later. Excellent. Thank you. Appreciate your interaction because we are diving into something extremely, extremely important here. As amazing as this piece of paper here, this is the key. This is the formula that a lot of people would pay millions and millions of dollars for. We understood it for absolutely free. Okay. But there's a deeper layer to it. There's a deeper level to it. And this is also the beauty of the triangle of reality. Let me bring back the triangle of reality from earlier. Okay. So when I write information, different layer on this triangle of reality, it's not just words. These are different layers, helping us to get even deeper into any area that we want to. And it's helped us simplify many, many things. And if you can just look at this, just this by itself gives us a lot of answer already. But if we were to ask ourselves a little bit further, what is the notion of success? What exactly is the relation of success, and where exactly is the profession of success? You can come up with your own triangle on this once you understand the triangle of reality, because you know that whatever reality that is, there's information about it, there's energy about it, and there's the material of it. We need to know the reality. We need to have some sort of belief in that reality, and we have to understand the reality. And there are dogma view, there are religion view, there are science view. And yesterday we mentioned about seed and fruition, and some people might wonder, why is seed and fruition have anything to do with this? But if you really think about everything in life, it's just like a tree. It's just like a mango tree in the uh, the root formula. There's a famous quote saying that you reap what you sow, as in whatever seed that you plant, the fruition will come. And this worked for success as well. This worked for anything. And you need the right karma connection, which is the energy, in order to materialize it. Because if you have a good seed, but if you were to throw that seed on top of the rock, then the fruition will not come. And understanding different layer of the karma connection, I would like to invite you to dive even deeper, to get to an even deeper layer of the triangle of reality, and we will figure out what we need to do to prepare ourselves in order to be really, really proactive, really prepare for all for any problem that life might throw at us, whether it is about the inner self, whether it is about health, whether it is about relationship, or whether it is about finance. And we have already talked about this. I have already shared this information with you guys, if you can remember. And that was about the seven holistic wealth. One, we can lead up the seven holistic wealth, which are wisdom, virtue, present, nobility, capability, material, and physique. We will be able to take back control of our own destiny, and we will have a very strong foundation to support all four of this category. Therefore, success of and in itself, the 80% people development greatly influenced by the seven holistic wealth, and that is our reference system. So let's build on top of this triangle of reality. So I would like to invite you to get another piece of paper. And similarly, let's draw a triangle of reality. And we are going to be on top of the triangle of success. And keep in mind that this is the success that we all should lean in toward, because this is the success that we want to get, which is the holistic life, which is the seven holistic wealth. So that's what I mean by success. And let me go ahead and name it down here. Seven holistic wealth. This is the triangle of reality of the seven holistic wealth. So the notion of success, I'm just rewriting the very first triangle, and we are building on top of that, and hopefully we'll be able to do that in 10 minutes. It's not going to take long. Okay, so notion of success. And there is the relation of success. And then we have the profession of success. And we realize that 80% of it is about people development, and that is the notion, and that is the relation. And the 80% of the people development would be, let me think about it real quick for the seven holistic wealth. We have wisdom, presence, virtue, and let's look at the seven holistic wealth real quick. In order to build that 80% people development, we have to have we have to develop ourselves. Then that means that we have to show that through virtue, we have to show that through our presence, and we have to show it through nobility. That is how we build the 80% success. Because virtue is the attitude, the disposition, or character traits that enable us to act in a way that develop our potential. And the character of virtue would be honesty, courage, or courageous, compassion, generosity, fidelity, integrity. So virtue is something that is very, very, very important to develop a person, and it's greatly influenced on the people development. So the layer two of this would be the 80% of the people development. And we have to get the information from virtue. Therefore, let me get a green pen. Therefore, we need to get the information from virtue. And I'm assuming that you already understand that the information is always on the bottom left, the material on the bottom right, and up top is the energy. Therefore, we need the information from virtue in order to build that 80% people development. And then in the top, which is the energy, we are going to need the energy of presence. And this is just provide information. I know there are many of us here have a great understanding of this topic, but for the one that just recently learned about this, just hang around. Eventually, we will define the seven holistic wealth even deeper. Or if you're not familiar with what the seven holistic wealth was or is, you can always go back to our recording and re-listen to it. It is super important. But for the 80% of people development, we're gonna need to rely on the information of virtue. We're gonna need the energy of the presence, of our presence. And for the material, that will be nobility. This is how we are going to build that 80% people development, because we have the information needed of a virtual person. We have the presence, and because of that, we will have that nobility, and we can use the lit house as the reference, because nobility, it is in the bottom right, which has very deep connection of relationship and inner self. And relationship is right here. This is the corner up relationship. And for virtue, even though it's right in the middle, where it has a great connection between health, inner self, and relation. Therefore, the three wealths, which are the wealth in present, the wealth in virtue, and the wealth in nobility. This is what connect our self, our inner self, our health, and our relation. And this has a lot to do with our success in any field, any career, whether it is a doctor or a lawyer or a pilot or a photographer, they need to have these elements in order to become success at their career. And we will expand on this in future topic, like how do we get like a dream job, or what is the fulfilling life. We have all of that definition uh, later down in the road. But these are the information that I would like to provide to you. The 80% of the people development are virtual, present, and mobility. If you can just lit up your present, the value of virtue, the value of nobility, if you can increase as well, it is very, very easy to gain that success in any career. And this is like the simplest form of the success formula. Okay. Rather than spending money going to gain different skill set or whatever that we usually do. And I have gone through all of this. I spent years and years. But if we were to simplify it, there's only three things that we need to focus on in order to gain that success, in order to have that 80% chance to gain that success. And those are present, virtual, and nobility. What about the seven holistic wealth? All right, prior to the seven holistic wealth, let me go ahead and use this green color so that people know that this is the 80% people development. People development. Then the seven holistic wealth will be on top of the 80% people development. And let me use this color here so that we can differentiate it with the red color up there. So imagine that this is purple. If we were to fit the seven holistic well into a triangle of reality so that we would know what information they are, what is the energy we need, and what are the material, it will be easier to understand this. And it is all here, it already laying out. Because as you can see, if you can remember, these are not new information. These are the information that we was already provided in the understanding your inner self from our teacher, right? So when we look at the material group, we already realize that there are capability, physics, and material. And that is the reason that we draw the three color up top as well. So we know that material is capability, physics, and material. And to keep it simple, that's what we go into write down here. So we have physics, and then we have material, and then we have capability. Capability. All right, it's very simple. And for the immaterial, what are the immaterial? The immaterials are information and energy. Okay, energy and information belong in the material group. And the beauty of this is earlier we have already figured out the 80% of people development, and that contain virtual, present, and nobility. We have virtual, present, nobility here. So wisdom is kind of standing by itself. And we realize that wisdom is what directly connect to our inner self. And this is exactly what it is, guys. Wisdom gonna be at the information corner. Wisdom. And through wisdom, and this is the reason that we often talk about inner self. This entire season, this entire presentation is about inner self. It is all about building a strong foundation so that you can build health, you can build relationship, you can build finance on top of it. You can build a skyscraper if you want to. It is all about understanding your inner self. Therefore, it is all about having a greater understanding of your wisdom. This is the foundation. This is the information you needed to gain the success that you need. So wisdom is that the information. And we realize that the energy needed is the 80% people development, which are virtual, virtual, and this is the combination with resin. And also nobility. And this is the power of the triangle of reality. Using the triangle of reality, we just have the formula of getting closer to that seven holistic wealth. To get to that holistic life, we need to start with wisdom, or we can even start with the energy, which are the 80% people development, virtual, present, nobility. We can build these three at the same time. Or you know what? We can get to the success that we want through the material route, which are physique, material, or capability. The seven holistic well is the ultimate success. It is not a destination, it is rather a point of interest. We want to get closer to it. And just like the story of my friends, the successful female entrepreneur, she get to her success. Her starting point is the notion of success, and later she built profession and relation. For one of my best friend, he started with profession, and he built his success from his profession, and then he gained notion and he gained relation. So you can start from any of this corner. Everyone is different. You got to know where your strength is. You got to know where your weaknesses are so that you can build on top of it. But it is simpler for us now that we know this formula. And all of this demonstrate the power of the triangle of reality, because you can fit it in a triangle and you understand it way better. You will know where to pull the information from. You will know where to get the energy needed, and you have a clearer understanding of the material. And that is the end of my presentation of the triangle of reality. And then tomorrow and the day after that, we will present the last reference system, semantic reference system, which is the human structure. And I am super pumped. I'm super excited about this because this is the ultimate thing that will get us to our goal. This is the energy needed. But I know I already went over 4 to 5 minutes. So feel free to raise your hand and ask question or share with us the lesson that you had learned. And to me, like every time that I think about this or draw this out, it's give me a very unique sensation. And I would like to invite you to raise your hand to share with us, to ask question before we end this. I don't know if Yang Hung is still here. If you still have a question, or I don't know if this triangle of reality has already answered your question. And I see you raise your hand again. Feel free to unmute yourself. Thank you.
Hi, Ben. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Ben, so much for your uh, presentation. It's very clear, and it seems that I have learned a lot, and I can review a lot of knowledge. And I love your presentation and your voice so much. Thank you very much, Ben. I'm just having a question. Actually, I think I'm just having a concern as I raised the question. If we talked about, if we say this is the triangle of success, I think it will cause confusion to the people who have I think it will confusion to people who have learned wit in Vietnamese. And also, I think that I'm not sure whether it will, because for me, if I, before I know wit, if I know the word success, I think that I remember I don't like that word. I'm not sure, I don't know why, but I don't want success in life, but I want to be happy. So when I know about the success, that the definition of success, that success is making people like you. I really, really appreciate that definition, and I think I think that it will make people think that and understand that success is not something difficult to achieve. And that is the reason why I'm thinking that whether we should distinguish the triangle of success and the triangle of maturity, because our master used to say that if a person pursues success, is not sure that he or she can achieve the same. But if a person pursues their maturity, is surely that he and she can achieve success. That's what I'm thinking. Thank you much for listening to me. And thank you, and Ben, through your presentation, I also have a triangle popped up in my mind, because when I look at the triangle of success, I understand that I'm not sure what the life level, cảnh giới cuộc sống in English is, but I have a question in my mind. Why do I need to have success? Why do I need to have maturity? Because success and maturity, technically, I'm not sure is the purpose of someone's life. But everybody, surely that everybody will need to be and want to be happy. And the life level, the fifth life level is success. No, is happiness. And in order to achieve the fifth five level, you need to pursue first the maturity in order to achieve the fourth level of life. And then thanks to the success, then you can. That I'm just it's just my concerns about the terms. That's all. Thank you very much, and Ben.
Yeah, thank you. That is a great question. And your English is really good, by the way. I don't know if you live in somewhere else in the world. You live in Vietnam, but your English is very impressive. I totally understand where you're coming from. And just a quick clarification. Prior to me write the word success, I use the word success very vaguely, because most of the because the presentation here, I plan this presentation for people who have never heard of this information before. And I use the word success and I define it by the common belief of what most people are out there. And I build it on the foundation that most people are out there. And I mentioned this in my presentation too. Usually, when people talk about success, they often view success as a financial success, as in the money that they make, as in their career. And I using the triangle of reality in order to help them understand how they can apply the triangle of reality to their life, which they can use the triangle of reality to analyze success so that they can have a clearer understanding of what success is, better yet, a clearer path of what most people usually have to go through in order to accomplish the success. So yes, if we were to use the word success as in one of the vocabulary in WIT, then this is not a closed definition for the word success in WIT or in lit, but this success is defined vaguely in the success of what most people out there are view. And usually in life, in order to get to success, whether it is a success in your profession as a doctor or a lawyer or a photographer or a chef or a small business, usually people have to go through a 50-year period to learn the information of that field. And then they have to build a relationship on that field. And then they achieve the profession on that field of study or on that professional career. So on a normal path, usually it would take people 50 years to get to that success, whatever that success is, whether they want to become a businessman or woman or a doctor or a lawyer. Usually it takes them 50 years. And using the triangle of reality, my goal is to help them realize that, hey, you know what, you can use the triangle of reality to figure out this journey, because most people don't understand the journey of 50 years. And by the time they get to the 50, it was almost too late to change their direction. And then I make an argument that instead of spending 50 years, it can only take us 50 months or even 50 weeks or even 50 days with the knowledge that we are providing. And they will be able to achieve the success that what could potentially take them years. And then I use the triangle of reality to build on top of all of the information that we have shared in this season, because we are getting toward the end of the season of the 12 day. Today is the 10th day of season 3. And I demonstrate that the triangle of reality, since we understood it, we are able to make a clearer understanding of the 7 holistic wealth, because that is where we trying to lean toward. And thanks to the triangle of reality, we were able to put where with virtue, present, and nobility, and that help us understand how can we develop ourselves as a person, because when we successfully develop ourselves and or develop other people, we for sure will have 80% chance of getting to whatever success, quote unquote. And we can even, and I demonstrate that using the triangle of reality, we can actually go in deeper, because all of this connected, all of this are interconnected. And by getting that 80% people development, we can use that to get to the seven holistic wealth by elevate our wisdom, by materialize our physique, material, and capability. And I ended with we can get to anything in one of these corner. It doesn't have to have all three, but as we spend time to develop all three, which are information, energy, and material, we will be able to have a clearer definition of success or definition of reality that we want. So all of these words are interchangeable. The main key is that we got to know the information that we want for our reality. We got to have certain belief in the energy that we want for our reality, and we got to understand the material that we want for our reality, whether it is a career or whether it is like health and wellness, or whether it is your inner self, or whether it is your relationship, because relationship can be relationship with your wife or husband, or the relationship between parent and children, or relationship between friend to another. And the same can apply for finance. So I know that is a very long answer, but I don't know if that help clear your question.
Thank you, and Ben. I know your purpose.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. We don't have to lean too much toward the word itself. The just a tool to help everyone understand the application of the triangle of success, or I mean the triangle of reality. But you can put success, or you can put even wisdom in the middle to analyze it. You can even put capability in the middle to analyze it through information, energy, and material. And this is super amazing. I can do this all day. But thank you for your sharing. And this is what I love about a meeting like this, because through your question, through your understanding, I myself understand this better, and together we will be able to spread these amazing knowledge to every corner of the world. Because I do believe that we are moving toward a very important era of humanity. And it is extremely important for us to do this, to shorten the time needed to have that growth. We shouldn't waste 50 years. We shouldn't waste any more time than needed. And we are very blessed to have the tool and to have the information of this amazing knowledge. All right. So if we have anyone else that would like to share, if you have any question, or if you have any lesson that you would like to share, you can also raise your hand. If not, we can go out with a song like usual. And as always, I truly appreciate you joining us, because together we will gain a better understanding of this knowledge, and together we will be able to spread this information to every corner of the world. I think we are doing some important work here. And if no one wants to have any question, let me go ahead and stop the recording, because I do want to make an announcement.